Today we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm really excited about talking about Vegas to you every day, all day. And actually those who know me and know me well know that Las Vegas is my favorite subject. So I'll do anything and everything I can to just bring up the city of Las Vegas. But today I decided to bring a friend in, somebody who I've known for over 20 years, who plays a very important leadership role in our beautiful neon hometown. And I thought it'd be fun to just discuss kind of the history of Vegas, sort of where we are now, what's coming in the future, and you could hear someone other than me talk about how freaking great this place is. Let's go. Cedric.
What's going on?
How are you? Thank you so much.
So great to see you.
Always making time for me. I appreciate it.
It's been too long.
Way too long.
But I follow you.
Okay.
And I see you progressing. I see you doing your thing.
I'm growing.
Yeah.
I'm following you too. You've been up to some things.
I got a lot going on in my life.
All right, we're going to talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
But before we talk about that, you invited me to come to this space today that not a lot of people know about. So. Yep. World Market Center, where are we?
So
what are we doing?
We're here, look, I'm the City Councilman for Ward 5. Symphony Park is where we're located, right across from the Smith Center for the Performing Arts.
Yep.
This is the World Market Center. The World Market Center is the world's largest wholesale furniture mart in the history of our country. They have a 325,000 square foot expo center that just opened up a couple of years ago.
Wow.
They host two major, large, world-class furniture markets every single year. And then inside of these buildings, there are wholesale furniture stores.
Some of your favorite brands.
Well,
like
everything.
Everything, right.
Mayor Oscar Goodman, when he was mayor, you know, he had a vision for Symphony Park.
Yep.
This is one of the first things that he did was to come down here and bring these people here. Here we are at the World Market Center, the Las Vegas Design Center.
I actually didn't know half of what you just told me, so that's awesome. I just know that this is a massive building downtown. I'm always wondering what the hell's going on. Yeah. So now we know. Thank you, sir. This is an awesome backdrop. I'm grateful that you got us in here for today.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Let's go talk, because I want to just tell everybody all about my friend Cedric. Let's go. Surprising sitting next to me. You know, I can't believe it. Just kidding. Really? Okay. So as I mentioned when we first started this video, I'm super honored to be bringing an amazing person to you to talk today about Las Vegas. Also one of my very good friends, Mr. Cedric Crear.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, thanks for coming again. I'm so honored. He always makes time for me and I feel like, I don't know, kind of special because, you know, got a little one line to this very important man. Cedric, I think a lot of people who know you well know that you are one of Las Vegas's most devoted public servants.
Well, that's good to hear. I appreciate that. I've been doing this a long time. We have been in elected office, but in public service for a long time now, 20 years. Been working to, you know, build up our community, make our community better in many different facets. So it's great. But this is my city. You know, I'm born and raised here in this town.
It's my city too.
Yeah, I know it is. I know it is. It's our city.
It's our city.
And so, look, I care about our city. I love our city. I only want the best for our city. So instead of talking about it on the sideline, I decided to do something about it.
What I love about you, Cedric, so Cedric and I have known each other for more than 20 years?
20 years, 20 plus years.
Doesn't it make you feel so old?
Time flies, doesn't it?
Damn, having fun though, having fun. But Cedric has always had a huge heart for Las Vegas because you were born and raised.
Yeah,
right?
I was.
And in that process of meeting a born and raised person when I was 20 years old, not born and raised, but you might as well, I believe neon. So I, you know, people would believe that I was born and raised here. But when I met you, Cedric, you were already doing so much for the community. You were volunteering, you were part of the Red Cross. You've held many public offices, so let's talk about those offices for a moment. Then we're going to talk about the most important role that you've played in my world.
Yeah, well, look, I came back from Las Vegas, right? I was in DC, went to Howard University and graduated, came back to Vegas and started working in our #1 industry, hospitality and gaming.
Right. Casinos, baby.
Yeah, like where we met and started out dealing blackjack on Graveyard, right? Report this, you know, you got to be at work 3 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Clocking in,
clocking out. I always say you clocking in, clocking out. You know, when you, and it's always a thing about clocking in because you can't clock in too early.
Right, or
too late. You can't clock in too late.
It's that 7-minute rule, that 7-minute window. Yeah.
Right, so when you've gone through that and you understand that, you know exactly what you're talking about when you can't clock in too early, clock in too late. So I did that for a long time. I went from the table games over to the race and sports book, writing tickets. Remember when they used to have the race on one side and sports on the other side?
They were very separate.
They were very separate, now they're all together. So you wrote tickets on both sides, did that for a while, worked the slots, selling change.
You grinded it out.
You know, I had my outfit on, my striped shirt, my bow tie, and my vest that said change, and worked at that for a while. Worked in paying jackpots, fixing machines, doing all that good stuff. Worked in casino marketing.
And that's
done
like
a little
the
bit
blood
of
of
everything.
our city. Like
it is.
So you understand the absolute blood of our city. So isn't it cool that I know somebody who is obviously very entrenched in Las Vegas, but you're currently a public official?
I am. Elected office. I was elected in 2006 to serve on the Board of Regents for the Nevada System of Higher Education.
And you did a lot in that role.
Yeah, we did. We accomplished a lot. And that is a trustee for all of higher ed, public education in Nevada. our 2 research institutions, UNLV, UNR, College of Southern Nevada, Nevada State University here in Southern Nevada, Western Nevada College.
Like arms around a big beast.
Yeah, the whole state. Western Nevada in Carson, Truckee and Truckee Meadow Community College in Reno, Great Basin College in DRI. So we established policy for all that. I was elected in 2006. I was reelected in 12.
But then you were also doing something else at the same time.
Well, you know, it's interesting because I got asked to serve as a planning commissioner for the city of Las Vegas, which is a organization, it's a group, it's a board that makes planning recommendations to the city council. I'm the only person to ever serve as a planning commissioner and as an elected official, which is pretty neat. That got really my feet wet in local city government because it is a city of Las Vegas oriented commission.
Right.
I sat on that for 2 years.
Right.
We had a special election for the Ward 5 seat.
Freaking hustler, man.
Well, you know, timing is everything.
Yeah.
Right, and then I won the special election in 2018. I took office April 18th, 2018, and then I served for a year and a half. In that capacity, I won the permanent seat, and so I've been on city council for 6 years.
For a minute.
By the time we take office as mayor, it'll be 6.5 years of city council, 2 years planning commission, 12 years on the board of regents. Outside of you know all the other nonprofit work and community stuff we've been doing.
Do you ever sleep or do you ever go home?
It's interesting. I have a philosophy. If I can schedule it, I can do it. But
that's my philosophy too, but it's burning me out. I don't know about you. You looking pretty spry these days.
You know, it seems like at about 9:30, 10 o'clock sometimes, man, it just hits you. You go to sleep, then I'm up at 5:30.
Do your thing.
And just ready to rock and roll again.
My favorite thing, so it's hard for me to say this now because of all of the things you just said, the important role that you've played in our freaking city. But I still think the most important role you've played in our city is when you were my boss.
Oh, yeah.
So Cedric and Cedric hired me to work at, I was working at Station Casinos and I got transferred from one property to the next to work under this man, and that's how we first met. I was 22 years old.
Were you 22? Well, you know, you can't ask that question how old you are when you're doing interviews.
I was definitely 22.
So you were 22?
A little over 20. It's been 22 years.
22 years?
I can't believe it.
Isn't that something? So look, I remember, and were you at Texas?
I was at Texas Station.
You're at Texas Station, moved over to Sunset. And I was the director of marketing for Sunset. We're looking for an advertising coordinator,
whatever.
And you got recommended. We interviewed, and next thing you know, Laci's working out at Sunset. And you know, in those jobs too, is more than just advertising marketing. It's like whatever comes up for that day.
You just do it. Yeah, we were always putting out fires.
We were always putting out fires, and it was great. So, and look, that Sunset opened up because I was in Kansas City, Missouri. Right, I was director of player development, casino marketing. I got transferred back out to Sunset. 99, I think it was, because the world. Remember the world was going to come to an end.
I remember.
Y2K, the whole world was going to stop, and I was at Sunset then. And so 2000, I worked there, and when I first got there, I was working in hotel sales. Then I went over to director of casino marketing. Then I went over to Pal Station, director of marketing, came back.
That. And then I get to work for you.
And then you came and got to work with us. So it was great. We had a great team, had a lot of fun. You were a fantastic person.
You.
Look, but your career sort of kicked off there. But then you ended up becoming the director of marketing for Aliante and worked. So you built a good career.
So I stepped into your shoes.
You did.
But I really do think that you've played an important role, not only in the city, but I really have seen it from 22 years old. You've played a huge role in my life as a mentor and a friend and someone who's helped look out for me over the years. But largely I followed the steps that I did in my career because I was following you.
Well, you know, look, we're all a product of someone who has paved a path for us.
So I'm grateful.
Well, I'm grateful for you, and it's great to see what you're doing now.
Thank you.
You really expanded yourself, a wonderful mother.
Thank you.
Business owner, business leader in our community.
Thank you.
You've taken this whole digital marketing into a whole nother level. You know, I remember. I'm
like blushing right now.
Well, it's true though. Look, it is what it is. But you remember when podcasting was first started?
Yes, sir, I do.
Who was leading that charge? And you came to me and said, we want to do a podcast. And I remember you saying, we want to do a podcast. What's going on? Come on our channel. I didn't know what that was.
Right.
Nobody knew what that was.
I was trying to tell you. I promise this is the future.
You were, and you led the charge. To grow the industry here in Southern Nevada and across the country.
Thank you.
And now, geez, everyone's.
If you don't have a podcast, something's wrong with you.
If you don't have a podcast, you got people who are worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Will you come on my podcast? You got people who are doing nothing in their life, come on my podcast. And it has become that medium.
That ultimate networking tool.
That ultimate networking medium to go out. But then in today's political world, where everybody has an opinion.
It's very interesting to see how things have shifted. I didn't expect this, I'll tell you that.
And it's gotten, you've gotten so partisanship. You've got people who will, create that conversation that happens throughout the country and around the world.
Yeah.
And so
it's a major thing.
It's
major
become
shifting.
that medium for people, and then the people are monetizing of it. There are people who are making a lot of money.
It's a whole new business and industry. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, you know, you look at somebody who wasn't doing this before, and they built it up, and now they are literally
changing the world with
monetizing
it and monetizing it,
and making a
millionaires.
tremendous amount of money.
Yeah.
You know, my daughter Kennedy is a sophomore. She just finished sophomore year at Penn State, and she is actually interning this summer at the UFC.
Oh, cool.
And you know what department she's interning in? Social
Podcasting?
media.
Oh, social media.
Yeah, but like, who would have thought?
I still can't believe it. And we were in marketing our whole career.
Yes, we were in marketing.
It took a left
who
turn.
would have thought that a major multi-billion-dollar company would have an entire department dedicated to social media and such a relevant portion of their business
depends on
social media.
It's crazy. We're going to talk about that in a minute, because I was actually going to talk about marketing, but let me shift gears for a second, because one of my favorite things to do is talk about Las Vegas. You know that. And everybody loves a good old school Las Vegas story. You were born and raised here.
I was.
And so what I want to hear from you growing up here. Your dad was very influential in the city. You come from, you are Vegas. You are rooted in Vegas. But give me a fun story or one of your favorite memories as a kid growing up here, and what you feel like you could explain it.
Well, you know, you mentioned my father, and my father was the second black doctor in Nevada.
Yeah.
And from Houston, Texas, came out, the first black student admitted to University of California, Irvine Medical School.
It's amazing.
Started his practice with Dr. Charles West, who's the first black doctor. And I never realized that I was really a product of all of the desegregation that took place. You know, before 1960, black people could only go into the hotels and the restaurants in the historic West Side. They could work on the Strip. They had to walk out the back door, and they didn't have to leave and come back over to the historic West Side. In 1960, they signed what's called the Moulin Rouge Agreement, which desegregated Las Vegas. Well, the Strip basically, which in turn desegregated Las Vegas. And so,
it's a domino effect.
People moved out the diaspora of Las Vegas. And growing up here, I never really realized that my generation was really the generation to implement all those things. People who fought for it.
Fought for it, and then you got to benefit and feel it.
Yes, absolutely right. So the schools weren't integrated until 1972, and so
That's crazy.
It is crazy, right?
72 schools in Las Vegas were not integrated. That's like yesterday.
It is like yesterday, and so you don't realize that you're a product of things. And when I was going to go to the coffee shop at the Sahara Hotel with my family, you didn't realize that just a few years ago, I couldn't do that, or we couldn't do that.
That's amazing.
It is pretty amazing.
When did that come to you? When did that occur to you that was like, whoa?
I got to be honest with you. So we did a mural at our historic West Side School. We created this timeline. And if you go from the timeline of when the historic West Side was created to where it is now, and you look at all that we put in there, you start seeing all the different milestones that took place. And that's where you really sort of kick in, like, oh my God, hold on.
Like
this didn't happen until this. And then we created this thing called Legacy Park, which is a beautiful park that honors our trailblazers of our community. And we just had a induction ceremony this year. And then you look at the people who were inducted there, and you look at someone like Charles Keller. Charles Keller taught me how to swim. He's an attorney that was sent out from the NAACP Legal Defense Fund to help desegregate Las Vegas. I had no idea.
You're just taking swimming classes.
We used to walk to his house, and he used to teach me how to swim. And so you look at those milestones of those people, and then not even just in the black community, but I knew a lot of the people who transformed this city. And I went to school with a lot of the kids who transformed this city.
And they're just your chums, your buddies.
They're just people. You had no idea that they were engaged. And look, I went to school with some savior characters, some kids that when the movie Casino comes out or the books come out.
Everybody loves those stories about Vegas. And I know we both, you before me, both knew and wove in and out of those communities.
Woven in and out of those communities. And so do you see them, and you don't really, as a kid, you don't really know what they do. You know, hello, Mr. Spilotro. How are you? You know, hello, Mr. Rosenstein. And you just see these people.
And these are just your boys.
You just see them, and you know their kids, and you go to school with them. And so I was growing up in Las Vegas. The greatest thing about Las Vegas, it is and still is such a small community. And everybody sort of looks out of our community. And back in the day, you had those jobs like valet parkers, where we took care of valet parkers. You took care of the bellmen.
The maitre d'.
Maitre d', yes. You remember when they had the showroom?
Slip them a 20 when you want to sit up front.
That's exactly right. I say this all the time.
I miss those days.
Yeah, nowadays, you get your ticket, it's on your app, you go up there. But before, But that was a great job.
Yeah.
If you were a showroom,
really good job.
if you were a showroom captain,
and you were walking out counting.
You were walking out every single day because
Yeah.
it depended on where you sat, it was dependent on what you took care of the guy. You know, as we say, you know,
It's
you take
palm
care.
him, give him a palmer.
You take care of him. And so I remember going to the showrooms, and you remember they had the big long. It was a very long table, and everybody sat at a table.
And then the stage is here. Yeah.
The captain had a long cardboard sort of where all the tables were, and he'd mark off where you go. Then he would tell the person, take them to 17 or
as
22.
He's palming $100, $20 every time.
And so that was Vegas, and all the entertainment that you had. I remember when no concerts would come to Las Vegas.
Yeah, it was like pulling teeth.
It was like, and we had the small little convention center, but the shows were the headlining shows at the casinos.
The casinos, right? Elvis, all of them. Yeah.
You know, Diana Ross, Lola Falana,
Debbie Reynolds,
and Margaret,
Tom
Newton, Jones,
Wayne
Newton. We can't forget him. Yeah, and so those were all of the entertainments that you got. You didn't get concerts like you would go to normal cities and go to, you know, whatever amphitheater and go see that. We never had that. And so to see that evolutionary growth of how entertainment now has come back into the fold. All these residencies are in Vegas now. Adele, Usher, Carrie Underwood, all these people are just striving to come to Vegas.
They're dying because they know it's a great gig, right?
They know it's a great gig. And so now with the Sphere opening up, with T-Mobile opened up, with Allegiant opening up. You know, it used to be MGM Grand Garden is where everybody went to. Thomas and Mack was where they used to have the concerts, and now the fights.
That was the only place I ever went to a concert. Was
Thomas and Mack. Yeah, Thomas and Mack. Sure.
Crazy.
Sure. I was there, and I don't know how about this? I was there when it opened up, and Barbra Streisand performed.
What?
I have no idea how I got there. This is. I think the Thomas and Mack opened up 25 years ago, 30 years ago, somewhere around there.
Way more than that.
No, you think so?
It was definitely, I was a kid when it was.
I think I was in high school,
you know,
30 years ago.
We're above 40 now. Right? Let's do the math again, okay?
Yeah, I remember seeing Barbra Streisand.
Wow.
That opening concert, and it was a black tie event at the Thomas and Mack when it opened up.
Somebody greased you in. You did a Palmer and got in.
I have no idea how I got there. And I remember thinking that this is a big deal. I forget how we got tickets.
Pivotal, something.
Yeah,
that moment.
but I was there for the opening. But to see that from the time, like Barbra Streisand at the Thomas and Mack.
Forget it. Even then, it was a huge thing. She's huge.
Yeah, the Thomas and Mack.
Someone paid good money for that.
They did. But now to see just the advancement of entertainment, to see the advancement of sports, to see the evolution of how Vegas has transformed, right, from just a gambling sort of sawdust town.
Well, we're just people. When I moved here at 9, Cedric, I wrote pen pal letters to my friends back in Kansas City.
Oh yeah.
I wrote in my diary, and anytime I went anywhere, and about till I was 23, anybody that would listen, it was, you just watch. Everybody and their mom is going to want to live in Las Vegas someday. You should move to Vegas. This is why. I've been a Las Vegas gal, hitting that campaign for Las Vegas since, we won't talk about how many years ago that is, but it was a lot of years. And it's happening. It is. The world sees her now.
It is. And I tell people when they move to Las Vegas, I go, look, get ready for this.
Yeah.
Because it's not a matter of if everybody you know, it's a matter of when everybody you knows. And now that you live here, everyone's gonna think you got the juice to get them everything that's going on.
Yeah.
We recently had Usher. Usher had 100 shows of his residency over at Park.
Yeah.
It was great, Park MGM. And we honored him with a proclamation. We gave him the key to the city. The mayor and I gave him the key to the city.
Yeah.
And one of the things I said was this about Usher, was that I would travel and people would find out from Vegas. 3 things would happen about Usher. People find out I'm from Las Vegas and they would say, oh, we just came back from Vegas. We went to go see Usher.
Yep.
Oh, that's great. And then second thing they would say, oh, we're on our way to Vegas. We're gonna go see Usher.
Yeah.
Right? And then the third thing was this, oh, you're from Las Vegas? Hey, we're trying to get tickets to go see Usher. Can you help me get some tickets?
Yeah, I got a palm.
Yeah,
exactly.
And it was like that happened so often.
That's awesome.
And it was just resonated more so than just a show that was there. People are making plans to go to these shows.
Yep.
They are
Lady Gaga, Celine when she was doing her show. Adele. Yeah.
Like people have it like, okay, so what are you doing this summer? Well, I'm gonna go visit my family and whatever, and then we're gonna go see Adele. Like it's on the calendar to go see Adele for their friends and family to meet up in Las Vegas. That doesn't happen.
That's kind of new in the last 5 years.
That is. It has been new in the last 5 to 10 years. But it's great because it's added a whole new dimension to the city. And so from someone being born and raised here, seeing that evolution, you know, I remember when you went to Mount Charleston, you had to make a right turn on Rancho, and you went all the way out. There was no 95 that took you out to
Kyle Canyon Road, and you go up there.
And if you go out there now, out in Ward 6 at Sky Canyon, you know, they're building up into the turnoff for Mount Charleston.
Sunstone, there's some new communities out there. We talk about those all the time, and that growth in that area.
It is. It's
most
crazy.
bang for your buck right now.
It is crazy, and they're going to continue to grow. Sky Canyon out that way, and the work that they're doing. You know, we're doing some stuff in the Upper Wash to create more housing for Creech Air Force Base that's out there. The city is tremendously moving. I always say this, you know, Las Vegas is old enough where it knows its history, it knows some of the mistakes it's made, but it's young enough where we're still charting our own course. We are literally
and can be nimble, a little bit more
very nimble. I mean, we are literally taking a pen and a piece of paper and charting where we're going.
It's my favorite
How many cities do you go to where you actually building out a medical district? You know, when I was on the Board of Regents, we worked to bring UNLV School of Medicine into Las Vegas. It used to be University of Nevada, Reno, was 2 years in Reno, 2 years in Las Vegas. We bifurcated that, now it's strictly in Reno. And then Las Vegas UNLV School of Medicine strictly for Southern Nevada, which is very, very needed. So you look at that, and it's only been there for what, 5 years or so, the medical school? How many cities do you get to go to where you're just building out a medical school? And then you're building out a medical district now. So there'll be a lot of ancillary services surrounded by UMC, Valley Hospital, medical school, dental school, and now we have a biotech facility coming in, all these different things happening. Try to do that in many other cities. Try to do that in Kansas City, right?
It's established,
yes,
right?
It's established.
I love that, like, you know, I always say we're kind of like a teenager. Las Vegas, she scrapes her knees, she gets up, scrapes off and keeps on moving. But, but to your point, it feels like we're in this, moving from adolescence to young adult, or even maybe, you know, early 20s, going, okay, now dream a little dream. Let's start to chart that path to the dream. And we're maturing as we go as a city. It's been beautiful to watch.
It has been beautiful to watch. And the just diversification of the city.
Of everything.
Yeah, you know, I've been working to bring in a number of tech companies into Las Vegas.
You've done a great job.
Tech hubs to come into Las Vegas. We just broke ground on a workforce development center in the Historic West Side. It's going to train our community in information technology, healthcare, and the manufacturing, construction, and trade industry, because we have to get people ready, trained, prepared to go into these jobs that are entry-level jobs, that are great paying jobs. I'm a firm believer, you give a person a good job, it changes their life, it changes their family's life, and it changes a community's life.
Absolutely.
Because people need and want to work, and I firmly believe that people want to work.
People do want to work.
You know what I mean?
There's still a bit of lostness happening, like people in fog after the pandemic, and we're past the pandemic, but I can still sense that it's jarred the community to now want a little bit of a different type of experience, but regardless, everybody wants to work. They have to have purpose. Right?
Well, you know, look, every time I remember I was working in the hospitality industry when 9/11 happened. And then through the recession of 8, 9, and 10, when I started my business, you know, I have a smaller advertising company, as you know. We started it in 06, and we started growing it, went through the recession, 8, 9, and 10. Somehow, some way we came out of that on the back end. We're still open. We're still doing business. And then COVID happened, like you said.
And it just changed
you know,
the world.
look, my business went to $0 per month in revenue because we had contracts with companies that said, look, we're done.
So we're closed right now. What are we going to do?
What am I going to do? I'm like, well, I got a contract with you. They're like, well, okay.
They're like, cool, have fun with that. We'll see you in court in 30 years.
That's nice. Like I'm going to go sue some of these gaming companies. No. And so you deal with it. I'm a rare elected official that actually knows what it's like to go through that and to try to continue to build. Look, we're still trying to build back off of COVID. I'm sure you're the same way. And you look at what happened, and then you do see people that were out of work. They went back and got their certificates, or they went back to CSN and they got their, whatever it is, and they diversified their economy.
And
they're doing different things. You know, they're doing different things.
Gave people a chance to dream a little bit.
It really did give people a chance to dream a little bit. And that happened a lot here in Las Vegas. I think it probably happened a lot throughout the country.
Everywhere, but we're just always the anomaly, you know, in most instances. You're taking the words out of my mouth. So he is a very rare official. And I just love that you're already just sharing a lot of the stuff that is happening that you've been a part of. He's, you know, Cedric, you're humble and also know when it's appropriate to say, by the way, we did that, because
Yeah.
you know what it takes to really make people aware that we are so much more than what they think. So all the traditional stuff that people think about Vegas. Give me a fun story about growing up here with that, just something fun, like what's one of your favorite memories, like in high school or maybe you're right after high school, like some crazy stuff that can't happen anymore maybe, or just a Vegas story, because you're true Vegas through and through.
A Vegas story.
And I know you're a public official now, and you can't tell me bad things, but no.
A Vegas story is when people and kids, not that I'm incriminating anybody, but would sneak into the casinos and try to gamble.
Yep.
That was very, very prevalent, right?
Yeah. Surveillance is a little bit less than what it is now.
A little bit different.
I love that.
A friend of mine, we were walking out of the Holiday Inn Casino, right, which is Harrah's now, and he walking past a dead blackjack game, and he puts down a $20 bill to get some change, and he wanted to try to gamble, and the dealer looks at him and takes the cut card and reaches across the table and does this to him on the cut card.
Oh my God,
He says to him, "Hey man, you're not even old enough to shave. Get the hell out of here."
So you got caught. He's like, "Damn it." Yeah, I got caught. I love it.
But you got caught, just, leave. Get out.
It's so funny to me because people who you grew up in Vegas, everybody thought we used to live in the casinos.
No doubt.
We've dealt with all the BS assumptions, but it did provide an interesting experience. My mom used to drop me off on the Strip to go play at the Excalibur Circus for the day, and then I'd call her from a random phone or a pay phone, because we had those at one time.
We did.
And then have her come and get me and meet me somewhere. But I vividly remember finding boys as a teenager, running and looking for tourist boys to hang out with at the Las Vegas Boulevard. But I didn't try to gamble. I was gambling on love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You remember when in the casinos, if you found somebody listening for cell phones, you could call PBX, which is the operator. If you don't know what PBX is.
I love that you still call it PBX.
Yeah, PBX.
I'm dying right now.
You call PBX and you say, "Can you page, Joe Smith?" And they go, "Please hold." And then you would hear it, phone call for Joe Smith. Please call in Joe Smith.
Did you call and give fake names?
Oh, all the time.
Is Elvis? Can you please page Elvis? Oh my God.
Yeah, PBX must have been like, they knew after a while, but you can call PBX, and that's where you actually got a hold of anything that goes on. Yeah. And our PBX operators would direct you to anybody and everybody if you were trying to.
Almost old switchboard style.
If you were trying to get the executive who was running, can I get, I don't know, Frank Petita's office, and they would, "Please hold," and they would do it, or they would, and then when I became in the industry before cell phones, they had a beeper.
Oh, I remember that beeper.
Remember the beeper?
Yep.
And so then PBX would send you a page and say 0. That meant call the operator.
Yep.
And then we knew all the PBX operators because, hey Florence, how you doing?
Yeah.
Hey, hold on for a call. There's a call for you for so and so. And you would literally be standing at a podium someplace, or a phone in your head. And then when I was doing director of casino marketing, you'd be writing stuff down. You'd be on the phone, clients coming in or doing something, and it was a whole different ballgame.
Do you remember the first time it was my first weekend on the job, you guys were switching entertainment, and there was a bit of an upheaval about, you were pulling out Louie.
Oh, Louie, sure.
Who was in the Club Madrid, and we were bringing in the Spasmatics, which is to this day one of my favorite experiences in Vegas. They're all over. And it was my first weekend. We had just done some drawing. I was wearing a turtleneck, and I had to go to the gift shop to find a new shirt. I'm just thinking of all these moments. I had to go to the gift shop and just bought a tank top and came out, and I didn't know that there was this big uproar about Louie not being playing anymore, and my tank top said Louie on it. So I walk in, and you walked up, and you go, what are you doing? What are you revolting? You're mad too? And I was like, I just needed a shirt to wear. And then we danced the night away, all of us. Well, I did. Anyway.
Yeah, we all did. We had a really good.
I got up on stage, sang with the band, whatever. And afterward, I remember walking up to you and going, "You didn't know what you were in for when you hired me, were you?" Well, now you know. Though.
I do
now
know.
You know.
We had a great team.
We did.
We worked very, 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 very hard.
Yes.
But when it was time not to work, we all had a great time. That was the industry that we were in too. And you could have a little more flexibility at that time. We spent a lot of time together.
Yeah, I mean, we were sometimes 19-hour days, depending.
In the industry, we would work 6 days a week, right?
Minimum.
And then in marketing, because you had to be there when the people are there.
Yeah.
Your job is to drive people to the facility. Now, what they do when they get there, but our job is to drive
make sure they
business,
get there.
drive headcount, and all the offers we did, the drawings we did. So we would get there sometimes in the morning. You have meetings, and during the day, then you would get there on Friday night. We have drawings. We had all types of things going on. So we would be there with each other for a lot.
That's why I felt so close to you.
I'm telling you, you spend a lot of time with your work family there.
And it did become family.
Yep, and you know, you look back on it, and I always used to say that you don't really know that you're in it until you get out.
Yep. And then you miss it, but you don't. It's like,
And then when you're out, you're like, huh. And when I left the gaming industry, I went to go work for a company, and at 5:01,
gone.
the place was a ghost town.
Yep. Me too. That exact same thing
It was a
happened to me.
traffic jam in the parking lot to get out of the facility.
And you're still like, did anybody eat lunch yet?
Yeah, I'm like, wow, is this how this goes?
Yeah.
I never knew people like that. I always use this as an example, and you'll know this as a director of marketing. If someone said to you, hey, let's have lunch, you would say, okay, great, meet me at the coffee shop downstairs.
Because I'm not leaving property.
God forbid you leave the property, right? Because
someone
that's
hits a
just,
jackpot, you got
that's just, you're there.
Yeah.
And you're there all the time. And so you would never say, meet me at so-and-so, meet me at so-and-so. You would say, meet me at the coffee shop, meet me at the buffet, or whatever you want to go eat. And your friends would come over, your business associate, you were tethered there. And, but then when you get out and you say, hey, Laci, let's go to lunch. Okay, here's the question. Great. What part of town are you on?
Yeah.
Well, let's meet in the middle.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to, you know, I don't know, Gordon Biersch.
Whatever.
You go, okay, great. I'll meet you at Gordon Biersch in the middle of town, whatever.
And then the whole time you're there, you're like, wait a minute, am I allowed to be away?
Yeah. And you realize that there's a bigger world out there than just what you're doing. And I always just say this too, though. The industry, it's not anybody's fault.
No.
It's not anybody said to you, like, you know, you have to do this.
Yeah.
That's just the nature of the business. It's a 24-hour business, 365 a day business. And if you're going to do the job and you're going to do it successful, that's what it takes.
It's also a moment too, I think, for everybody who as much as we all would complain and this and that, it died down after a while because we found a passion or a love for it. We wanted to see the successes from our hard work. And to your point, it took that, but even the best, most organized people were also still working that. So it's like if you're new, it takes that, or if you're old, it takes that. It's just the culture. And I miss it sometimes.
But you know what happens too is that as a director of marketing, you turn to the left, and the director of food and beverage is going through the same thing.
Yeah, so you
turn
can't
to the
leave
right,
your
the director of hotel is doing the same thing.
Right.
That's just the nature of the business. And if you are doing those jobs, you're director of F&B, then you got 9 restaurants, you got 6 bars, you've got bar backs, you've got the pool,
you're all in it together.
It's just all in it together, and you have to be on top of your game. Well, one of the things too is that you learn a lot.
Yeah. I think that is the best college experience without the college component that anybody can go
it's probably even better than college because you were actually on the ground.
Trench.
And then you learn a lot about, and you know this, you got to go defend your numbers every month. So you got to know your P&L. You got to know line by line.
I was getting questioned about what's this $8 expense from the, whatever.
You got to know your numbers. And so when you go and you take that experience and take it out to the real world or your own business, you're like, oh yeah, no problem.
That's why a lot of people, when they talk to me about, how did you transition from your corporate career in marketing with Cirque du Soleil and Station Casinos and IGT, how did that get you to where you are? And I'm like, oh, this is the same job. It's just, I'm marketing me, I'm marketing the city, but I treat it like I did in the corporate world, numbers and looking at things and it's testing and trialing and all the things. So, and it's, what is it again? Bringing people in through the door. That's what I'm doing now. It's what I did then.
Yeah, it is. And so you learn a lot, and you learn a lot what to do right, and you learn a lot what not to do right, and it's a trial and error experience. But with that said, look, I'm a product of that, which makes me a better elected official as a council person.
Good transition. I was just about to do that. So I thank you for sharing all that. I'm so grateful. So as you can tell, old friends, we could do this for 2 hours. I don't want to keep you all day, but I do want to ask a few other questions about just that. Like I know you're so diverse because of you grinding it out, knowing how the city works. You didn't just get here and then decide that you like it and decide to serve. You served from the moment you started working our city, our tourism, our people who live here. So as that transitions into what you've already done, which is amazing, you've already affected the city in such a beautiful way with all you should go to his website because he's got an amazing history of making change here. So I'm now going to be I'm seeing you around town, Crear for mayor, like it's insanely awesome to me. And as your friend, I'm so proud. But talk to me about what it looks like when you're the mayor. What do you have what's your vision?
Well, look, the mayor is a couple things. One, it's the global ambassador for the city of Las Vegas, right? You think about Las Vegas, you go to the mayor. You think about being that person who is driving our industry. That person needs to be a person that has the vibrancy, the intelligence, the background, the history of our city to know to go out and sell our city.
The roots,
right? I'm on the board of the Convention Authority, Las Convention Authority, which brings in all the major events, including Super Bowl, F1, which we
We could talk about that later. It was good.
Yes,
not everybody realized it. Yeah.
And all the major events and all the
Right.
major conventions that
Right.
come in, Comdex, CES, et cetera.
Right.
And so I'm already doing that job as a global ambassador
Yeah.
and selling our city, which is vitally important.
Yeah.
Working to continue to keep our community safe.
Yeah.
We always think about the Strip and we think about the tourists that come here, but we have to keep our neighborhoods safe.
Yeah.
I work very well with Metro, work very well with Sheriff McMahill.
Yeah.
To continue, I'm on the Fiscal Affairs Committee for Metro, which is the money committee.
Yeah.
Since
Which
I've been on
matters,
there.
right? That's
you have to
you gotta have
give
money.
our
Yeah.
officers the resources they need to keep our community safe.
Right.
Since I've been in office, we've got hundreds of more cops that are on the street.
Yeah.
And when you call 911, you want someone to answer, and then you want someone to show up when
Right.
you have a problem. And so continue to work that and to expand that.
Right.
Continue to expand what's called community-oriented policing, COP.
Yeah.
Make sure that those officers are the ones that you see in the community
Right.
that are doing the little leagues, that are doing the trick or treat, the trunk and
presence,
treats
yeah.
of Metro.
Yeah.
That's important to expand because we have to ensure that we are breaking down that barrier between
Right.
law enforcement and community.
Right.
And so, look, we're going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to diversify our economy, continue to diversify our workforce.
Yeah.
I've already been working on bringing in companies, like I've said, tech companies, industries,
Oh, you've
incubate
done
here.
amazing things, yeah.
Because we have to diversify our
Yeah.
economy.
Yeah.
I love our hospitality industry,
But we gotta have
we
more.
need to expand it, right? We need more. And the good thing is that I'm already started doing it.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to work well and better with our cross-jurisdictional partners,
Right.
the county, North Las Vegas, and Henderson.
Right.
There are certain solutions to some problems that need a unified approach, homelessness and mental health issues,
Right.
public safety issues.
Right.
We're working to work across those jurisdictional lines in order to make that a better working strategic initiative to make those industries better. And so all those things are going to happen. The good thing is I'm already doing it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. I'm very proud of you as well.
I'm honored to know you and just have you in my life. And I'm mostly moved. I'm moved by you just putting yourself out there continuously for our community. It gets me a little verklempt sometimes, and I'll text you every now and then at like 1 in the morning when I'm not sleeping. Then I'm like, oh God, he's an official now. I can't, I'm waking him up. He has important things to do. I hope I'm not waking him.
No, you're not waking me up.
But I love sending you a text just saying, man, I just saw this and I thought that, or man, thank you for your advice on that. Like you've been a very big person in my life, and I think I tell it to you all the time, honestly,
Yeah.
but you're very important to me. Give me one word to describe looking at your life right now, looking at this moment in your life today, knowing what we just talked about, knowing where we came from, 20 years ago dancing at Louie Louie, like doing all spasmatics, whatever, like one word to describe how you feel about your life right now.
Oh, I'm blessed.
Blessed.
Blessed is the ultimate word.
Yeah.
I'm blessed that I have a family that supports me, that loves me, and I love them.
Yeah.
Blessed to have friends like yourselves and
Thank
people
you.
in our community that have been just deep-rooted, real friendships, so people that care about you.
Yep.
Right? They don't care about the title, because when it's all said and done, right, it'll be, hey Cedric, what's going on?
Yeah.
Let's go have lunch.
Yeah.
Many people get in public office and they let their position and their title define them. I always tell my friends that, look, if you ever see me going down that route, just
Yeah.
hit me in the back of the head
Yeah.
and say, hey man,
Yeah.
let's bring this back, let's dial this back
It's
a
like
little bit.
Hold up.
Yeah, so I'm blessed to have some great friends, blessed to have the experience and opportunities that I've had.
Yeah.
People have entrusted me on some
Yeah.
things and we've delivered. So I am just blessed. I'm blessed to
Thank
live in
you.
this community, be born and
Yeah.
raised in this community, because it's what has defined me and taught me everything I know. So blessed is
Mr.
it.
Las Vegas himself, Miss Las Vegas right here, Mr. Las Vegas.
Yeah.
You've already been mayor of Las Vegas in my mind since I met you.
Thank you.
And so it's just a matter of, it's just a piece of paper at this point in time, right? Super grateful to have your time today. I know it's
Thank
you got a lot of bigger things, a lot more things to do. I don't know what to say. I'm all flustered right now because I'm so proud of you and so
Thank
honored
you.
for this. Give me one sentence that tells me what you think the future of Las Vegas looks like.
I think the future of Las Vegas in the next 5 to 10 years,
Yeah.
which is right around the corner, will be completely transformed. We are transforming our community and turning it into a diversified economy.
Yep.
Tourism base will continue to grow.
Yep.
We're turning to a true sports professional city. I mean,
Yeah.
with 2-time championship aces, the Stanley Cup champion Knights,
Yep.
the Raiders. We have a USL soccer team downtown at Cashman Field, which gets 7,000 fans that come a game. Right, we are expanding. The Oakland A's are coming in town.
Amazing.
It's just a matter of time before we have an MLS team, before we have a
Right.
NBA team. Everybody wants to come to Vegas.
Yeah.
And so you'll see that transform over the years.
Yeah.
That'll help also diversify our economy. You'll continue for Vegas to be a global leader. And Vegas bounces back faster than most
Scraping
cities
them
when
knees,
there's
man, I'm
when
telling you.
there's a concern in the country and
Yeah.
the world. And we'll continue to expand, we'll continue to diversify. Vegas will be a city that will go from 40 million visitors to 41, 42, 43.
Yeah.
We're going to continue to open up more direct routes, international routes at the airport. You know, we have Terminal 3 now.
Right.
We have a lot more direct routes coming in from around the country, Brazil, England, France, all over, to come into Las Vegas. That'll continue to grow. So we're going to continue to just diversify and grow our city.
One piece of advice for somebody who's thinking about moving to Vegas.
Moving to Vegas, one, do your research. Two, contact you. I think that's important. Many people that don't have a good grasp of the city the way you do, and also you want someone that's honest, that's trustworthy, that's going to give you the real deal. You know, well, it's true. I think that many people will just try to get you into a home instead of trying to get you into something that's perfect for you.
Yeah, we care about the experience.
Yeah, you care about the experience, you
here.
care about where you want to be. You know, it's a great city. How many people do we talk to? I was talking to someone last night, moved out from Southern California, and she's been here for 3 years. I said, how you love it? I love Las Vegas.
151 new people moving here every single day.
I love Las Vegas. And if you look at some of the challenges that other cities have, we don't have those here.
Yeah, we're lucky.
It's a little high in July and August. But with that said, floods, hurricanes, all the other stuff, we are and we're growing responsibly. And so I love the fact that you're doing what you do.
Mayor Cedric Crear, you heard it here first. Thank you so much for giving us more time than we agreed upon. So thank you.
I appreciate you.
I'm so grateful for, if you've watched this long, this man is going to be the next mayor of Las Vegas, and if something else happens, he still serves this community. He's already been the mayor in my book for 100 years. As you can tell, we're good friends, so I'm going to go try to catch a few more minutes with my good friend. If you are thinking about moving to Las Vegas, you heard it from this man, you better pick up the phone and call. There's a phone number on the bottom of the screen, or you can click this link in the description or the pinned comment. I want to talk to you. I don't care if you're moving now or 10 years from now. It's really, really important to me that you love living here and that you do it the right way, so you land softly in our neon hometown.
Yes.
So love you if you're coming, and even if you're thinking about it, let's talk. Thank you again, Cedric.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time.
See ya.